Yeah, just back off for me and I'll proceed now.
Wait for everyone to begin.
That really, that just took it to another level.
In the previous episode, competitors completed 2 scenarios that required them to make decisions whilst under duress. They were held at gunpoint and had to find the right balance between compliance and offence, and they were presented with another scenario requiring them to call the authorities, de-escalate an enraged attacker, maintain their situational awareness whilst providing first aid to a victim. Adrian is in the lead with 6 points, Dylan in second with 5 points, Kevin in third with 3 points, with Nicola in fourth position with 2 points, and Nathan and Mitch with 1 point apiece. In this episode, competitors will be placed in a scenario where there is little time to call for help. The scenario will begin with them witnessing an active stabbing event in which bystanders are in imminent danger. To encourage the participants to intervene, we have included a mother and child being pursued by the assailant.
So knives are prevalent throughout the world, so this one's probably more common, with knives being readily available pretty much anywhere. So this scenario begins with, it's sort of like a train station. They're coming down the stairs, they've got their briefcase on them, their bag with their phone and all the rest of it. And pretty much what happens is they witness an individual running around and stabbing people. So this person's just lost the plot, gone around stabbing a number of individuals, and then the attacker turns their attention to a mother and child. So once again, decision making is a big thing, decision making under pressure. And we wanted them to go and intervene, and we thought, what better way to do that than a mother and child? Because, you know, as a martial artist, we feel that there is a sense of responsibility that, you know, we should be protecting people like that. So that's why we put that in. On top of this, you know, the way it's scored is you've got to save the mother and child as well as yourself, you know, first and foremost. And also how well they could articulate it afterwards. So in their interviews afterwards, if they were able to explain what they did, and maybe it wasn't, you know, how it played out, but if they had a good strategy and tried to put something into action that we thought was viable, then they were able to get points through that way as well.
The success criteria for this event is judged on whether they alert authorities, if they survive themselves, and also save the bystanders whilst taking into account their strategies. Before we see how the contestants go, confronting a knife-wielding attacker empty-handed is arguably the most challenging scenario one could find themselves in and should be avoided at all costs. Even the most highly trained martial artists and even styles and systems do not have an adequate response to this situation, as it is so very difficult. One small error can lead to your demise. First up is Nicola. Nicola did prevent himself from becoming a casualty by taking cover, quickly retreating, and he called the authorities. This would result in a fast response time from the first responders, however, not quick enough, resulting in the death of all bystanders.
So we also gave participants a second opportunity to right their wrongs if they chose, but we couldn't use that in the scoring because it took out all the spontaneity. If you've been in that scenario before and you've seen it, it takes out that element of, I guess, processing and working out what's going on and immediately, you know, spontaneously working out a strategy. So we couldn't allow that in the competition, but we did give them a chance to right their wrongs, and what happened was, you know, it was quite good. You know, they were able to turn it around. And any good scenario training isn't a one-off. You just don't do the thing once and then stop. You then go and revisit it and build upon it, because ultimately what you're trying to do in scenarios is build those skills. And in these one-off situations, you will make mistakes, as the competitors did. And as we see in their second attempt, they did a whole lot better.
Oh, very good. Yeah. I didn't call the police though.
Didn't have time to in these things.
What did you see? What was the situation? Tell me about
I
it.
saw a crazy man with a knife,
Yeah.
just killing everyone in the
Oh
meeting,
dear.
everyone.
Yeah.
Female. I picked my moment when I saw his blind spot, when his back was facing towards me, and I just hit him as hard as I could in the back of the head.
So you weren't going to let him attack the female, no?
No.
Okay, good man.
Or anyone.
Good man, yeah. So what considerations did you have on the way in? What do you think?
Well, there was a lot of obstacles here. There was a lot of people here, and I don't know what else to say really. I had a handbag or something to hit him.
Usual question. If you got to do it again, in hindsight, would you change anything?
No, I'm happy with that.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Okay, good work.
Thank you, sir.
Nicola chose an opportune moment to strike and immediately controlled the knife-bearing limb. The scenario was called due to the attacker receiving a hard strike to the back of the head. But if this was to continue, Nicola was also in an advantageous position and could have easily nullified the threat. A good performance, but unfortunately it is only his first run that will be scored. Next up is Nathan. Nathan retreated upon witnessing the attack, and he did not call the authorities. He may have been intending to do so, but the mother and child had been killed and he had not yet taken his phone out. For this drill, this places him underneath Nicola, who did quickly call the authorities. Nathan was also given the opportunity to try again.
Oh shit, sorry. Sorry, Jeff. Oi, come on, where are you, pussy? Oi, over here! You pussy! Hey, pussy, oi!
Nathan began by swinging his satchel at the attacker. This is the same initial attack as Nicola. However, the attacker was facing Nathan at the time and was therefore easily able to block and return fire. We generally do not recommend swinging bags when facing a knife attacker for this very reason. They are easy to block and do little damage upon impact. They are better used as a shield to intercept the knife. After suffering multiple stab wounds to the stomach, Nathan disengaged, drawing the attacker away from the victim. When the attacker returned to the woman, Nathan intercepted with aggression, attempting to isolate the knife arm, and did quite well. Overall, a decent performance, but unfortunately this one's not scored as it was his second run through.
Tell me about the scenario first. What did you see?
Well, what I seen in the situation that I thought I came in, I seen this guy get stabbed over here.
Yeah.
And like I accidentally intervened. My instincts told me to just use the bag and the reach of it to draw him up the stairs.
Okay.
But I overreacted off the
course,
start.
yeah.
Didn't mean it.
That's all right.
And then when I the second time I thought, well, MJ's coming up here, and the only
So who's MJ?
sorry, a lady. Is that MJ?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
That's it. But I seen her coming up here.
lady with-
Yeah, the lady. But she had put herself into an enclosed space on the bus.
Yeah,
Right. And
yeah.
so I thought,
What was unusual about this lady that you observed here?
well, because she had the baby.
She had a baby,
But the
alright.
thing is, she was running. But if I had run in there after she had been, the distance was already closed.
Okay.
And so I felt she was going to be trapped in there, and she's done. And if I get in there and I get stuck, I'm done.
Okay.
So like, what the second thing that happened was, I thought I need to go and get support and help first. That's
Okay,
trying to like
sure,
doing that because like I've already come in. She's already been stabbed 6 times. That's my mindset.
Okay.
So I'm like
6.
maybe.
Okay.
Like I'm not sure. Like that's how I'm feeling about the situation. That's what I'm feeling.
Sure.
And then when so I came out here and I went to observe and survive first.
Okay, I get you.
And then, like
What made you then engage and get stuck
Okay,
in?
so when I tried to think about it differently, to intervene, to try, right?
Yeah.
What I did initially was I used the bag and I threw the bag like I was throwing a dart punch.
Okay.
And I drew him away from her, but then he chased me, and I wanted him to keep chasing me because it's like
Take you away from her.
Yeah,
take him away from her.
I took away the
Okay,
target.
That's great. That's good.
And then and I got out of the road the stab way, so I'd drawn his aggression. So
Yeah.
it's like if you're here, if you want to draw someone's aggression away and you're a bodyguard, you'd have to step into the line first and then try to draw them onto there.
All right. Yeah, we got that. Yeah.
But if you but he just went straight back. So I came back and
he had
tried
something in mind, didn't he?
Yeah, I had to try to I was being aggressive at him and shaming him for it.
Sure.
And then he went over into the thing, probably already got her.
So he had a corner, didn't
Yeah,
he?
and then so I just tried a flying knee. I would try to put him into the car window, and I still held the arm, tried to fight back. I still got shanked. Still,
Yeah. How many times do you think you got hit?
when I had the blade out here, I felt a bit safer, but he ended up getting tighter and switching the grip. I
Gotcha.
thought he was going to do that anyway.
All right.
But then I came off and I tried to back away to stop myself getting shanked, and he still got me in the neck.
Okay.
I felt that was the best that I could do with that situation.
Okay. So, if you got a chance to do it again, what would you do different if you would do anything different? What opportunities in hindsight do you think you might have had to maybe get in there sooner or?
Well, the thing about it is, in the split of the moment, I thought that he went after me. I thought that she should have been bolting as much as
but
she
you
could.
can't control
But I
someone
can't
else's
control her
actions,
actions.
Yeah, sure.
And so she's in fear. She's just running into corners.
Yeah, of
So
course.
I think what I would have tried to have done is tried to have drawn him away and actually made the distance a bit shorter, to like a wounded duck running from a dog that's chasing a wounded duck to protect the ducklings.
Okay.
So if you did that a bit less and drew that intention a bit more from him, I might have been able to keep him like I've got a limped wing or I've hurt myself, and made him chase me, and that might have at least saved both of us because then I could have picked up my speed and got away from him.
All right. So, do you think you got any good shots on him? Anything
The
maybe-
flying knee and the elbow,
Okay.
slamming him that would have put down a lot of people if I'd followed as hard as I could through with it. Yeah.
All right.
I think that would have done something.
Okay. Well done.
Thank you.
Thanks for
Did my best.
participating.
Did my best.
See you in the next one.
Next up was Kevin.
Can I get the police to Die Hard? Can I get the police to Die Hard Purple, please? Yo! Yeah, stop. I'm recording. I'm ready. The police already on the way. Police already on the way, right?
Kevin did quickly call the authorities and attempted to draw the attacker away, but was stabbed multiple times in quick succession, both in the face and in the torso. This would have left him as an additional casualty, and the attacker would have then most likely returned to the mother, continuing his reign of terror. This leaves Kevin above Nathan, as he did call the authorities, but below Nicola, as it resulted in 2 casualties as opposed to the 1. Kevin also chose to attempt the scenario again, this time choosing his moment to strike carefully, coming from behind and quickly subduing the attacker successfully. Even though it was very impressive, again, this attempt will not be scored.
Scenario. Describe that situation to me. What was going on?
It's no easy way to put it. It's just a madman stabbing everyone inside.
How many people did you stab?
3 people.
Yeah?
One here, one at the very start here, one here, and this guy fixing up this.
He was on a mission then,
Yeah.
So go on, what happened? What else did you see?
So I'll come back from work or whatever it is. Right, so I see, stabbing up 3 people. I'm like, First thing to do was to call the police. As I'm walking down the
Absolutely.
place, I look, there's a madman stabbing 3 people. As I'm on the phone, there's a woman there screaming with her child.
No.
And he's walking up towards her, about to get into the bus or follow him. So I drop my work bag, try to get up behind him by surprise and just take him down quickly as possible.
Nice move.
But the main thing was to try and grab that knife first.
Yeah.
Well, at least not the knife itself, but his
take
hand.
that knife out of play, yeah?
Yeah. And then I can take, in my mind, I was like, you know what, I can take the hit spot. You know what I mean?
Take a punch, but you can't take a stab, yeah?
Can't take a stab.
Yeah.
So let's try to get him on the ground. Just try to get on top, just try to secure the...
What was your, if we'd allowed that to run on, what would your end game have been? You can't stay there forever, can you?
Me, personally,
Yeah.
I would have threw a bunch of elbows, personally.
Smashed him, yeah.
Yeah, personally. But,
Yeah. Got to be an end game.
yeah, has to be. So I think that's where I would have went.
Okay.
No, yeah.
Fantastic. So, again, if you got another run through of that, how would you refine what you did, if you would?
Maybe I would grab the knife hand first.
Really? When?
Whatever arm he's like holding, let's say,
When he's facing the lady?
when he's facing the lady and he's about
Yeah.
to walk into the bus.
So these guys have had it.
Yeah, they've already done for. So
She's savable, isn't she?
yeah, so he's got the knife in his right hand. So where I work security, when
Okay.
you take people out,
So basically the same plan, just different techniques maybe.
I'd be a lot more...
Same overall plan.
Yeah, but I would be a lot more aggressive compared to what I normally as a security guard. So
Yeah.
normally just walk him out, right? I'm pretty strong compared to that guy. I would have smashed him against the wall. For
Okay,
sure.
cool.
Yeah.
Excellent. Nicely done.
Yeah.
All right.
Ah,
Well
cheers.
done. See you in the next one.
Thank you.
Next up was Mitch. Mitch quickly called the authorities and took action when he saw the woman was being targeted. He effectively used the bag to distract the attacker and gain entry. Mitch immediately wrapped up the weapon hand, pinned the attacker to the seat and delivered short-range strikes. Mitch called the authorities, sustained no injuries and saved the woman and child. This is the best performance so far.
Where I draw the line is that mother and her child, that's where I can know that's now got to engage. So I believe I did enough. I tried to stay clear until I had to engage.
Describe the scenario to me first, the situation you were in.
So the scenario that I'm in is walking downstairs, briefed, walking home from work. When I hear yelling and screaming, I see a gentleman get attacked, apparently with a knife. See him drop. He attacks second person with a knife. I was currently on the stairs. If he's going to come for me, I'm going to give him a single point of entry, and I've got the high ground. So,
Good.
it's always
strategy.
good strategy. I've got things I can hit him with, kick him with, that kind of thing.
So you've seen that movie, The 300, yeah?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Funnel, that's it. And also Star Wars, on the high ground here. But at the point where I saw that he was targeting a woman and a child, yeah, that's where that judgment call has come into it. And
Yeah. So tell me,
Yeah.
plan.
so plan initially was to try and get the attention of the individual, but he was hell-bent. As soon as we went into the bus, that limited the room of engagement, which is fantastic.
Good.
Because it means you can only come linear.
Yeah.
And then at the point where he came for me, I was able to...
Top micro tactics then. What was in your mind face to face on that engagement?
Yep, so effectively position, pressure and angle,
Yeah.
position inside and dominant, pressure forward and down, angle through. As he turned around, I was able to engage, isolate the weapon bearing limb, pin him to the chair,
Yeah.
delivered about 4 or 5 solid headbutts.
Did you? Yeah. Okay.
And so
It's nice with the helmet
I
on, isn't
thought
it?
that the scenario would have been done by then, but he kept going. So then, but the knife had been stripped out at that point, so just on the chair.
Oh,
and
was
so
it?
he was punching, but
Totally
I was
disarmed him
happy
then,
just to keep headbutting and going
Fantastic.
from there. Yeah.
Fantastic. All right. If you got the chance to do it again, do anything different?
Look, I mean,
Hit him a bit harder?
make it obvious. Yeah, no, look, I mean, you want to save everyone, but self-preservation is number one, right? So
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'll let you go home for beers and medals.
Thank you
go.
very much.
Nice one, pal.
Cheers.
Next up was Adrian.
You alright, buddy? Okay. Yeah, can I get the police and the ambulance, please? There's a knife attacker. He stabbed 3 people, and he's currently going up for a 3rd. Oh, sorry, a 4th. Can you please get here? Thank you. Hey! What are you doing?
Adrian was also quick to alert the authorities, calling both the police and ambulance, but did not intervene until after the woman had been stabbed multiple times. Upon entry, Adrian was stabbed once, however, upon closer inspection, it grazed the front of his helmet and the injury was deemed non-lethal. He continued to trap the weapon-bearing limb with a strong overhook while delivering close-range strikes. This performance lands him underneath Mitch for this event, as he alerted authorities. He didn't save the bystanders, but did nullify the attacker.
So, I was on my way home from work, came in, there was a knife attacker. He stabbed 3 people. So, called the police, called the ambulance, let them know the situation. And I noticed he was going after a 4th person. So I made my way over to him. I yelled out to him to distract him, get him to stop. He proceeded to go for her again.
Gotcha.
So I used my bag as a bit of a distraction, threw it at him, and that's when I tried to disarm him.
Yeah, okay, so when he was engaging the woman,
Yep.
and you were at a safe distance, you were still on the phone to the police.
Yep.
At any point did you think about maybe engaging then? Before she got stabbed?
Engaging.
The attacker?
He'd already attacked her before I got around the corner. That's what he was doing.
Okay.
So before I got around the corner, I saw him chasing her. Because he had a knife, I presumed he was going to try and stab her. Once I got within a distance of him, he had already stabbed her a few times.
Okay, so then if we narrow the focus then, when you actually did engage the guy,
Yep.
What was your plan?
Try and disarm him.
Yeah.
Or at least, keep him at bay until the authorities got here. He obviously put up a fight, so I tried to defend myself and make sure I didn't get stabbed as well.
What did you do?
I tried to throw out the arm at the knife, not let go of it, and obviously just kept striking him.
Punch him?
Yep.
Headbutt
Punch
him?
him, need him, headbutted him.
Yeah.
Tried to pin him up against the car, bus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you got a chance to do that again, would you change anything you did?
No.
All right. Thanks for that.
Thank you.
The next competitor to attempt the scenario was Dylan.
This is where you got a mark with a knife. You're killing people are getting stabbed. Keep your eyes up.
Dylan had an identical performance to Nicola. They both quickly retreated to call the authorities and failed to save the woman. Dylan declined the opportunity to reattempt the scenario, citing he did exactly what he would do if that scenario was real. Dylan explained that he is only 50-odd kilos and that he would have a hard time dealing with a knife, so he did not intervene. As he said, "I did not want to become another victim." He also explained that the mother and child did not conjure as much emotion as it did to the others because he doesn't have any children, therefore lacks that paternal instinct the others have, which was a strong justification for his response. Even though his response was similar to the others, his rationale behind his actions gave him the edge. It is important to understand your own capabilities. If you do not believe you are capable of stopping the knife threat, your involvement will likely only result in more casualties. When confronting a knife-wielding attacker, it is important to find an improvised weapon with which you can attempt to level the playing field. Sturdy metal items such as chairs or stools work well. Same with backpacks, they can also be used defensively, briefcases and such. Using empty-handed tactics should be avoided unless there are no other options. In the court of law, you can use almost anything to make your response proportionate when dealing with a knife attack.
Describe that scenario to me, that situation. What did you see?
Yep. Stand on the stairs. First thing I see is,
What were you doing?
finished up work.
Okay.
On my way home from work.
Gotcha.
Come down the stairs, seen a bunch of people around, public place. Hear a bunch of screaming, a man come running out with a knife. Instantly I see a guy off his head screaming, something's wrong. Normal people don't do that.
Yep.
See the knife in his hand, I'm out.
You're in the wrong place, yeah?
Yep. I backtrack. I'm not coming down into the situation. Straight away up the stairs, I'm out of there. I've got a phone on me, so I call police and I hide.
What else happened that you're aware of?
I was behind cover for a lot of it. Heard a lot of screaming.
You didn't keep eyes on?
I did my best to keep eyes on the movement from the gaps I could see, but I didn't want to give myself away and have the knife.
So how many people got stabbed?
I'd say 2. I saw 2 people get stabbed before I was hiding.
Okay.
Heard further screaming, so let's say 3 or 4.
Okay. So you had the option to run again. Do you think you did enough?
At the end of the day, it's self-preservation.
Sure.
I didn't realise there was a mother and child at that time.
So keeping eyes on might have been a good idea.
Yeah. Have an understanding of who's around, but
It's good to know where the guy is as well, isn't it? In case he changes direction, yeah? Okay.
But at the end of the day, a knife, me on my own, I'm a small guy, I'm not going to go toy with anyone bigger than me,
Cool.
let alone someone with a force multiplier like a knife.
I see. Okay. So, okay. If you're going to run that again, if you had to run it again, would you change anything?
No.
Excellent.
No.
All right. Well done. Thank you
Sweet.
for participating.
Thank you.
So at the conclusion of this scenario, we have Mitch in first place, gaining 3 points. We have Adrian in second place, gaining 2 points. We have Dylan and Nicola tie for third place, both gaining 1 point each. So at the end of episode 3, the final tallies are Nathan in 6th place with 1 point. Nicola and Kevin are both tied for 4th place with 3 points. Mitch is now in 3rd place with 4 points. Dylan is in 2nd place with 6 points. And Adrian is still leading on 8 points.
Film if you like, that's absolutely fine. Film if you
Buddy, this is not gonna be fucking pretty. Let's go.